Welcome back, guys. It's Magikarp here, and since Cities is happening right now, I thought we'd look at a more competitive deck. So we're going to be looking at the Yveltal Zoroark Gallade deck. So the objective of this deck is to be pretty fast and to start off hitting with low damage, but then have a lot of Pokemon set up and then go in and hit for a lot of damage. So we're going to be battle compressing away our Gallades, our energies, and Maxi Set and Ball Tricks to get those Gallades out, and so we can start putting some energies onto our bench Pokemon. So our Yveltal here does attach the Darkness Energy from your discard pile onto one of your bench Pokemon. So if you can battle compressor those Darkness Energies into your discard pile, you'll be able to attach Darkness energies a lot faster than you would than just one per turn. And our Yveltals obviously are really good because it does 20 more damage times the amount of energies attached to both active Pokemon. So for the Giratina Seismitoad matchup, it hits for a lot because Seismitoad's hitting for not a lot of damage, and then your Baby Yveltal and Yveltal EX are hitting the they don't need special energies, so they're going to be hitting for a lot of damage against that Giratina. We're also running some Zoroarks because all you need to do is attach a DCE, and they do 10 damage plus 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So let's say they have like 3 Pokemon, you're hitting for 100 damage just for one Pokemon. Or if they have 5 Pokemon on the bench, you're doing 160, and if you have a Muscle Band, that's 180. That'll knock out any EX, unless they have like 190 HP. But, it also has the stand-in ability, which is really good. It's like the old Keldeo, so Russian. And if you attach a Float Stone, you can just rush and retreat, or stand in and retreat, and maybe get rid of like poison or paralyzation. It can really help to get that Pokemon out of the active spot. And finally, we're running Gallades. Gallades, once during your turn, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put them back on top of your deck in any order. So it's really good if you can get them out early in the game, trying to get the cards that you need to set up faster. And Sensitive Blade, if you play a supporter, it does 70 more damage. And if you have a Muscle Band, it's doing 150, but if not, it's just doing 130. And we're running Zorua, obviously, because we need to evolve into the Zoroarks. And our last Pokemon are obviously going to be Shaymins because this deck is supposed to be really fast. So if you can play Shaymin, you're going to be getting more cards in your hand, so you're going to be faster, and you're going to be able to set up a lot faster than your opponent. And starting to go into the item lines, we're going to be running 3 Acro Bikes, 3 Battle Compressors, I think, yes, 4 Trainer's Mail, just because there's a lot of items in our deck. So you can see all these tools, and 4, 4, 4, 3, and 3. So that's a lot of, that's a heavy item line right there. And we're going to be running 4 Ultra Balls just so we can get cards out of our hand, so we can use the Maxi Suit and Ball Trick, or maybe to get Shaymins, go a bit faster. It all depends on what you're looking for. You're going to be running 4 VS Seekers to grab back stuff maybe late game like Lysanders, but also Maxi Sit and Ball Tricks. If you Battle Compressor them into the discard pile, you can just VS Seeker them and grab that Gallade. We're going to be running, I think, 1 Hex is appropriate because you do have 3 Pokemon with abilities. You have the Shaymins, the Zoroarks, and the Gallades, but sometimes it can hurt your opponent more than it can hurt you. We're going to be running 1 Judge, just for hand disruption in case you're facing like a Metagross deck. I don't know why you would be in the standard format, but it can really hurt your opponent if they have a big hand that they got somehow, and you play Judge. Their hand's going to be 4 cards, which is going to be pretty bad. And since we're running Shaymins, you could probably get your hand back up quicker. We're going to be running 2 Lysanders, just because you can Lysander out something. If you can Lysander it out, you can basically take down their main attacker on their bench. Or if you have 2 prize cards left and they have Shaman on the bench, you just Lysander out that and use your Gallade to knock it out, or use something else to knock it out. But Lysanders are always good just to slow down your opponent or to take some easy prize cards. We're going to be running 2 Maxis Hidden Ball Trick so we can get back those Gallades. You really want to get Gallade out because if you face a Manectric matchup, you're pretty screwed because both your Yveltals have weakness, and so you're only going to be pretty much relying off of your Zoroarks, which can be pretty bad because you might not be able to do enough damage, and with Rough Seas, you might have to attach the Muscle Band, and then they can just Assault Laser you for the knockout. But if you send out a Gallade, all you have to do is play a supporter, and then you can Sensitive Blade for the knockout, not even needing a Muscle Band. We're going to be running 3 Sycamores, just obvious reasons, just to draw some cards. We're running no Birch, no Shaunas, just because we have other supporters that we could be using instead. We have 1 Zoroark because there's some matchups like Toad Tina that you can just Zoroark off their special energies, or I'm trying to think of a different matchup, but there's Night March too. You can Zoroark off their DCEs or items or tools, and it can just slow them down a bit, especially for special energies. Another good thing about this deck for Yveltal is because Yveltal one-shots your opponent's Night Marchers because it has weakness on Pumpkaboo, and Joltik only has 30 HP. So if you can get that first knockout with the with your Pokemon, it's wise not to play your EXs because then they can Lysander it out and take the prize lead, which in this case you want to take the first knockout and then keep taking that 1 prize per turn until you have the last prize card. We're going to be running 2 Floatstones back to the item cards just for the Zoroarks here because you can stand in retreat. Good to switch out your Pokemon. It's pretty much a free switch. And we're going to be running 3 Muscle Bands just because the Muscle Bands can help for every Pokemon here. Gallades for doing 150. Zoroarks maybe doing that 180. Yveltal, so you don't need to attach too many energies onto it. And Yveltal just because you could do that 50 damage, and it would take, let's say, a 4-hit knockout on a EX instead of taking like a 6 or 7, I think, hit knockout. So it can really help and hurt your opponent a lot more. And for obvious reasons, for our energies, I decided to run 8 Darkness energies just because I was like, yeah, I think 8 should work. And because I find it, some deck lists ran 7, some I think ran 9. But I found overall deck lists for this Yveltal deck ran 8, so I decided to go with it. And obviously we are running 4 DCEs just because it can go with our Zoroarks, our Yveltals, and our Gallades. So for this episode, since it's a standard deck and it's a competitive deck, I'm going to be doing a tournament. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the first matchup. Okay, here we go into our first match of the tournament. I thought it'd be a pretty good idea to show this deck off in a tournament situation, so it's not like I can choose whichever match I did well on. It's however the match goes is how the video goes. So it looks like my opponent's going to go first, and we're going to grab a pretty decent hand. Actually, I'm liking this hand a lot. And I'm going to play this Zorua down, not Zoroark. And then we're going to... So it's going to be... I see a Charizard and a Kangaskhan. Don't really know what this could be. And I see Steel Energy. Tierno. I'm guessing it's going to be like a heavy draw deck. There's 100, 120. So even with the muscle band, his kindred kick could never knock me out, which is a good thing. So he's going to grab some fire energies. And for my guess, it's probably going to be a Metagross deck. Just because we've seen Fire Energies, Tierno, Kangaskhan, and Steel Energy. Fire Energies for draw support with whatever it's called. Oof, why can't I think of it? With the stadium. Oh, I can't think of it. Scorched Earth, that's what it was. Yeah, with Scorched Earth, and then, yeah, just ton of draw. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of, sadly, Zoroark and Ultra Ball for Shaman. Only have one Shaman, which pretty much sucks. And we're gonna draw into a bunch of cards. Okay, so I'm gonna attach, and do I have Darkness Energy in here? I do. All Oblivion Wing, do 30 damage, and attach it onto Shaman. In case he Lysanders it out, then we'll be able to retreat it without fear. But I'm putting it there just for backup. There's no point in putting it onto the Zoroark, really. I guess I could have, but there's no real threat at the moment. And if... Okay, so he's not going to do anything else, so I'm just going to do 30 more damage, and then... Wow, okay. So... I guess I'll just take more. Sadly, terribly losing 2 DC. Really sucks. I'm going to Acrobike, grabbing Muscle Band for the Yveltal out there. And then Trainer's Mail, grabbing Battle Compressor, sure. Doesn't hurt. I'm going to throw away probably Lysander for Versa Seeker. That was Rosic and Hex, just getting rid of the supporters. Don't really need them at the moment. And then we will Oblivion Wing again, doing 50 whole damage, not attaching any Darkest Energies onto any of our Pokemon because we don't have any in our discard pile. And so we're going to see a Muscle Band onto that Charizard and Pokemon Center Lady, which is totally fine. Kindred Kicks for Tails. He's going to be doing 90. It's not that terrible, but okay, so we're going to grab right card to draw. And I'm definitely going to grab... Actually, Maxi Cinnaball. I'm going to grab Zorua. Yes, and then we're definitely going to get the Maxis. And if I can get a DCE, then I can definitely knock out the threat of that Kangaskhan out there. Because if not, I guess I'll just Oblivion Wing. Ooh, okay. So we're going to drop down another Yveltal. And I'm going to Premonition. No. Okay, so we didn't get it. There's going to be these two. Or Lysander next. No. Lysander. I'll go this way. And then I guess that'll be the end of my turn. I'm going to attach onto the Gallade and then Oblivion Wing for 50 damage, attaching it onto the Gallade on the bench. And there's 110 health on him, and I'm going to be doing at least 60. Probably going to be doing a lot more than that. I'm going to be doing 130, 260 damage, plus weakness. Okay, that won't really matter at all. All I have to do is Sensitive Blade and knock out. Just going to grab Pokemon Center Lady again. nothing too crazy bad. So he's going to do 120 damage, sadly knocking out my Yveltal. Nothing that anyone really wants, but it happened. Things happen. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to grab nothing. Yeah. So my deck is running really low, so there's only going to be 6 cards left to grab 6 prize cards, or just knock out like 2 Pokemon. Nothing too life-threatening here. And I'm going to Premonition. For these. And then I will Sensitive Blade. For 260 damage. Grabbing 2 more prize cards and Darkness Energy versus Seeker. So next turn I'm definitely going to be doing 130 damage. Unless he like Ace Trainers me or Judges me. Then I could be in a bit of a pickle. But I'll probably versus Seeker for probably Zoroark. And getting rid of that Muscle Band. And with that many cards in his hand, I'm surprised he doesn't have like a Blacksmith or just something. We see a Magnezone. It's not really much of a competitive deck. Never mind. I thought it was going to be like something a bit harder. And looks like we're just going to be waiting on our opponent to see what he's going to or what they're going to do next. Attaching Fire Energy. They could definitely do Wing Attack for 80 next turn, but if I get rid of that, then it'll only be 60. So, or they could do 150, which would knock out my Gallade. Oh no. I'm just going to take it slow, grab the Zoroark, and then do 130 damage. And then Sensitive Blade. I don't really need to use Premonition or anything like that, just because it's nothing that scary. Oh, I could have Lysandered out Magnezone. Hopefully he doesn't have the DCE, because if he does, then I definitely misplayed. So only has a Fire Energy. Yes, yes, yes. So we're definitely going to be able to knock out Charizard. I'm going to stand in and Mind Jack, and the next turn retreat Sensitive Blade. Knockout on either one of these 2 EXs, which doesn't really matter that much in this case. So he's going to do 60 damage, which is what I expected. And here we're just going to stand in. Definitely enough damage to knock him out, and Mind Jack for 100 damage. Taking 2 more prize cards, and next turn definitely having game in hand with the Lysander and Gallade on our bench. So he sends out Skarmory. There's nothing that he really needs at this point or can get. Yeah. There's a bunch of Fire Energies in discard. Maybe he doesn't even have any Fire Pokemon, so he can't even Blacksmith. With that giant hand, I don't know what's in it that he can't use to his advantage. But looks like if my opponent just passes the turn, I can take the win. So he's going to get ready for a Headlock. Definitely not going to let that happen. Oh, he's going to Lysander. I'm not sure if he knows what Zoroark does. But making sure, yep, I have Flowstone. So I'm going to stand in. Retreat. Lysander. And then Sensitive Blade for the game. So yeah, that'll be match number 1. I'll see you guys in our second match of the tournament. Okay, here we are going to our second match. We're going to win the coin flip. Yes, we're going to go first, so we can get the Zoroarks out and those Darkness Energies on as fast as possible, which is a pretty good hand, I must say. If we can get the right cards, then we'll be able to get turn 1 Gallade. So we're going to see Super Scoop Up, Ariados, Bats. Okay, so my guess, Sceptile with bats. Not a bad guess, which is probably what it's going to be. But this is going to be a pretty good match for me. I need to get as many Zoroarks out as possible because bats are going to be a lot of bench space, which is really good. Okay, so we're going to get rid of some basic cards. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get turn 1 Gallade, but we can always try. I'm going to do Acrobike, getting the Ultra Ball. Can we get it? Yes, we can. So we're going to get rid of this. Sadly getting rid of Zoroark, but I would have Sycamored anyways. Getting the Zorua. Dropping Zorua down. Dropping Yveltal down. Dropping Shaman down. No, I don't want to draw 6, just in case. And drawing 5 more cards with this Maxie's Hidden Vault trick. So we're going to do Battle Compressor. Probably Lysander. No. Darkness Energy, Xerosic. Wait, did I see another Glade in here? I did. Okay, so we're not going to get rid of Xerosic, Glade, and Darkness. And Premonition, see what we can grab for next turn. Definitely going to grab you, and the rest won't really matter because I'm probably going to Judge or Ultra Ball. And then from there, we'll just end our turn. Can't attack yet because we're going first, but if they don't play any bench Pokemon, then we're going to take the win. So hopefully they don't play anything. And yeah, we'd need an Ultra Ball, or a Muscle Band or DCE to knock out this Zubat, but he's definitely going to get another, either Zubat, yeah, or Spinarak. And then we'll see, maybe as Plant Forest, Poison me turn 1. Wouldn't like it, but it could happen. And do we see it? We do. Yeah, I'll just be able to stand in retreat, which is why Zoroark is so good in this matchup. It's because bats take up a lot of bench space, and I can take off the poison that won't really last long, so you'll be able to knock out my Pokemon in one shot. So he poisons us both. I'll just stand in retreat. Won't really matter for me. Scoop up and flips heads. I'm gonna grab the Zubat, and are you gonna send out Sceptile? He's gonna send out Ariados. Can I knock that out? I can, but I won't. And then he's going to evolve. Okay. I thought he was gonna have the just Sceptile. Okay. So I'm gonna evolve into Zoroark. Ultra Ball, those two, for another Zorua. And then I will Judge, bringing my opponent up to 1 card, or giving him 1 more card. But doesn't even look like we can stand in retreat because we didn't get a Float Stone. So I'm going to Premonition, DCE, Muscle Band, and all the rest of these good things. And then I will Oblivion Wing for 30, and attaching a Darkness Energy onto something. Yeah, probably Zorua on the bench, or Zoroark. And I'll let him do his turn. Hopefully he benches a lot of Pokemon. I want to see if I can knock out this Sceptile as soon as possible. So we see a Muscle Band, 120. Yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, yeah, the Muscle Band can really change stuff. So we're going to Sycamore. I don't really care much for my hand right now. And he only has 3 cards in his hand, so we're going to apply a lot of pressure by knocking out his Ariados and not leaving him with much options. So I'm going to hold on to the muscle bands for now. I don't really think I need them to too much to do much damage. I'm definitely going to grab DCE and these two, because Trainer's Mail is going to be able to let me search for each one of those. And then I will stand in and Mind Jack for the knockout. Yes, 70. So that's the thing I don't like. Right now he hasn't played any real bench Pokemon, or a lot of them at least, so we're not going to be able to do too much damage. So I'm going to try and get, let's see, one Yveltal. I'm going to try and get the other Yveltal out. I'm probably going to use the Gallade because, yeah, he's going to target it as soon as possible. So he's going to be doing 120. Wouldn't even be able to knock out my Gallade. But he knows my Gallade is a huge threat. So I'm going to be like, yeah, I know it's a threat. And I guess I'll grab Muscle Band. And I'll grab Float Stone. Attach it onto the Zoroark back here. Muscle Band onto here. Muscle Band onto here. And Muscle Band onto here. And I will VS Seeker. Probably for the judge. But if I can grab the Hex Maniac, then if I can find it. I'll grab the Lysander for later, but I can't really use it. How much damage am I doing? I'm not doing enough, so I'm just gonna judge. I kind of don't want to, but because it gives him a hand. There's Hex Maniac. Bit too late for that, my friend. But I will just stand in, retreat into our Gallade friend, Premonition. It's not what you really need here, but I guess I'll put the VS Seeker and then start putting energies first, and then Zerosek. But I might Sycamore next turn, it depends what happens. And we're going to Sensitive Blade for 150. How much health? Okay, he's at 70 health left. So if he benches something, then my Zoroark can knock it out, which I'm liking right now. Putting a lot of pressure onto my opponent. So he's going to do 30 more damage onto, yep, Gallade. And if he has the energy, he's going to knock it out, which is totally cool. So he's going to Tierno. Hopefully not grabbing that energy, because if not, I'll just stand in and knock out. Or stand in, yeah. Or, it depends if he plays the bench. If not, then I'll have to. So he flips heads. Dang. That really sucks. He could definitely skill dive me for the knockout. No, but he didn't see it. He did not see it, which EA is great. So I know two of those cards, or one of them is Muscle Band, and the other one is there. So he didn't see that he could get the knockout. Do I have the Lysander in here? I don't. I'm just gonna Hex Maniac and then knock out his Crobat. Yeah. And I'm gonna grab another DCE, so I'm gonna try and power up this Yveltal. He doesn't have any bench Pokemon, which is a good thing. Well, good thing. What am I talking about? That's a terrible thing. But if I can just knock out the Septum. Oh, yes, he conceded. I didn't want to go through that entire process of trying to knock it out. But there we go. There's our second match. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the final match. Okay, here we are going to our last and final match. Looks like my opponent's going to be going first. But we'll be able to attack with Zoroark, Yveltal, sorry, first. And which I'm going to start out with. I'm also going to play the Zorua. keep the Shaman in hand, obviously, and see what my opponent does. So it can be a Regice, Vileplume, Miltank deck. So hopefully he doesn't get a first turn, because that would seriously suck. But my matchup is pretty good. Hopefully. So he's going to Trainer's Mail, hopefully for nothing, because I want it for him to be slow as possible. And we have our Hex here that we can use to cancel out it anyways, if he does. But he usually plays heavy bench, just because he has all these different things he can play. Yeah, and that's why my Zoroark is going to be doing a lot of damage. And wow, not even like anything on his first turn. So we're going to Trainer's Mail, grabbing Battle Compressor, getting rid of some Darkness Energies, and probably a Gallade. I will Shaman first, see if I can get a Darkness Energy. If not, that's cool. I guess I'll attach this and Hex Maniac and let him do his turn. Hopefully he can bench down some more Pokemon, but he does have a what's it called again? That's the Pokemon I'm looking for. No, not Pokemon. He has Birch in his hand, so he's gonna grab Gloom. But I don't see his. Oh yeah, sure enough, because he went first, he'll be able to evolve into Gloom. Oh, I totally misplayed. Ooh, this is not gonna end up good. I should have be a secret for the Hex. Yep. But he won't be able to knock my Yveltal out. So he's gonna Trainer's Mail. Hopefully not for the Stadium. It's the last thing I want him to get. Yep, he got the Stadium. So he's probably gonna get his Vileplume out, which I'm like biting my nails to see if he does. Okay, so we see 1, 2, 3, 90, 100. So all I need is one more bench Pokemon for him. Come on, bench Pokemon. Oddish or Regice or something. Lysander. Okay, he already used a supporter. Phew, that is good. And he might Ice Beam, probably Resistance Blizzard. So he's gonna switch into Miltank and evolve into Vileplume, and I'm guessing pass the turn. So we grab a Darkness Energy, which is always good. Way to evolve into Zoroark and play Judge, putting him up to 1 card. And let's see what we can draw into. Not too great of a hand. 1, 2, 3. So I can knock it out, which I probably will. There's no way. Oh, there is a way of him knocking me out, but it's going to be really hard for him with 4 cards in his hand. So I'm just going to take this knockout on the Miltank and grabbing our first prize is a Darkness Energy. I don't really need it that much. I'll probably just Sycamore next turn, trying to get out the Yveltal EX as soon as possible. Let's see what my opponent puts out. He's probably going to put out Regice, maybe try and paralyze me, try and stall him a turn, but he's going to send out Miltank. So what I was talking about earlier, the cards that he needs would be an AZ and Muscle Man. That's pretty much it, but there's no way of him getting a knockout now. Max he can do is 80 damage. Okay, I want to look through his discard. 80 damage isn't that terrible. I can 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure if I want to risk it and knock out the Vileplume. What do we see in this card? Vileplume. Okay, since I do want to get the... Oof, this is a tough decision. Okay, so okay, thank you. But I'm gonna Lysandre out this, so that next turn his, yeah, his Miltanks won't be doing enough damage, or it would only be doing 10 damage, which would pretty suck. That would be pretty bad for him. So he's definitely gonna be able to knock me out with this Regice, which is not terrible, but hopefully he can't get much else set up. He only has 4 cards in his hand. I don't see him getting the Vileplume again out. And because we see 2 Vileplumes in discard, so unless he plays like Super Rod or something, so he's gonna AZ Miltank. Oh yeah, I guess less damage. Resistance Wizard doesn't even matter. I don't even have a Zoroark out. Won't bother me too much. We'll send out the Yveltal, and then so we grab a Shaman. I'm going to do that. Grab an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball these 2. I could definitely get the Gallade. No, I'll just grab the Yveltal. Yeah. Yeah, I can still get the Gallade. What am I talking about? Nope, I will not. And just because he has Regice, Gallade will be pretty important. Oh, I don't even have Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. Dang, that sucks. Oh, look who showed up. I'm just gonna do this. Acrobike, Trainer's Mail, and I will Trainer's Mail, hopefully getting 23 cards left in my deck. I didn't get anything. Okay. I guess I'll just Oblivion Wing. And I'm going to put it onto the baby Yveltal because he can definitely just Resistance Wizard, and then my Yveltal won't be able to touch him. But that won't be the case for this. Next turn, I might just Lysandre out the Regice on the bench. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. If he... Okay, so he's going to send it out anyways. I might just Lysandre out the Regice to do another 50. But I'll see what I can draw. We'll see what happens. If I get like an Ultra Ball, then I'll definitely try and get the Gallade. We have one DC in the discard, and Resistance Wizard for whopping 90 damage. And we draw an Ultra Ball. Oh my gosh, my luck today. I'm going to grab a Zorua. Wow. I screwed up once again. I shouldn't have grabbed anything. Yeah, wow. Okay, that's terrible. That is just terrible. Okay, so I'm going to be able to get it next turn though. So I'm going to bench to Zorua, attach to DCE. I'm going to do 50 damage, attaching Darkness Energy onto Yveltal. And since he's going to be knocking out my Yveltal, I'm going to be able to play Maxie's if I don't draw something stupid, like a Lysandre or something. So he's going to Lysandre my Zorua. Okay, that's cool. Okay, see what we can draw. Hopefully I don't have the worst luck in the world. Battle Compressor. Thank God. I'm not that ridiculously unlucky. Get rid of that. I have 2 Via Seekers left, so I'm going to get rid of these 2. And then Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. Which I'm still super mad about last turn, not being able to get it out. Oh, that was bad. I think I'll just... I'm gonna Premonition, see what we can grab. I'm just thinking, okay, DC, or no. That's, then these. I'm probably just gonna Oblivion Wing. Yeah, onto the baby Yveltal so I can Darkness Blade. Either one of those 2 for the knockout. Okay, so you don't see any form of File Plume getting ready, so well, I don't think we'll have to worry about seeing that anytime soon. So okay, never mind, we see an Oddish. Should have versus Seekered for Lysander. Yep, we see a Vile Plume, that's cool. Nothing that I'm too frightened of at the moment. It's pretty late for Vile Plume. I went like a couple turns with using my items, so the lock isn't that terrible. He's going to AZ, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he AZs. Turns out Yveltal, powerful friends. I'm going to Premonition. I'm going to grab Darkness Energy, Yveltal, and then throw the rest down. And then Sensitive Blade for the knockout for 120. Or, yeah, 120. Acrobite, can't use that. Most of my hand, or actually all of my hand, I won't be able to use. But with that Darkness Energy, I can Darkness Blade for the knockout on that Regice. How much damage? Oh, 70. Dang. Okay, so I'm going to play that. I'm going to Premonition the DCE first, then the Yveltal, and then throw everything back in its order. And then I will retreat, send out the Yveltal, and Darkness Blade. Okay, I can't attack next turn, but I can retreat and just send out the Gallade and knock out his last threat. Okay, so yeah, I have the Sycamore. I'm going to grab the DCE from the top of my deck. I think everything should work out. I'll just retreat. And then, okay. Oh wow, DCE, thank you. And I'll also be able to knock out with this Yveltal pretty soon. Goodbye, that entire big terrible hand. I have 3 cards left, not too terrible. And I will Premonition guess. It doesn't really matter. And then I will knock out? Yeah, okay, good. Just barely. And grabbing Zoroark. And, okay, he's going to send out Vileplume. I can just, okay, he's going to AZ the Vileplume. For the Miltank. Muscle Band. Level Ball. I don't really know what he's going for at this point. Unknown. He has 2 cards left in his deck. So if he tries to deck me out, it won't work. Okay, so he draws 1 more. And I guess he was looking for an energy or something. So my opponent's saying GG. I guess GG. I don't know if he has the game. Okay, so he just confused. Yeah, he knew I had it. So there we go. I showed off the deck pretty well. I won that entire tournament, and I hope you guys liked this deck as a competitive deck for cities coming up. And I'll see you guys next time.